This video is about microcontroller development boards. This is the first one I ever owned. It's made by Parallax. The name of it is Basic Stamp Homework Board. It has a nice prototyping area. 16 ports. Has a VDD, VIN, and a VSS section there. The coding on it's pretty basic. I'll show you an example of that later. But it's amazing what this thing can do. And here is the Arduino Mega 2560. It doesn't have a prototyping area, which kind of bothers me, but I just threw it onto a proto board so I could connect it to the circuit that way. It also doesn't have an onboard battery like the other one did, so that's a little annoying as well. It does have a USB port as opposed to the serial port the other one had, so that's nice. And as you can see, it has quite a few more ports than the Basic did, or the Parallax did. I don't have much experience with the programming of this. I've only done a few of the introductory programs so far, but it's more complicated, but at the same time it really is more programming than the Basic. So yeah, I look forward to playing around with this and seeing what I can do. Now I'm going to show you an example of the codes or programming layouts. So here's an example of the Basic Stamp programming setup here. It's really quite simple. So you declare your variables, and then you would say do to begin the program. And this is the pulse in, so you determine that port 6 is going to be a pulse in port, and you declare that variable as X, and then pulse in port 7, and this is a debug, so this is what you would get fed back into your serial port. So you would see the values that what X is and what Y is. And here's an if statement. So if Y is greater than or equal to 3500, then port 13 would go high, and it would pause there for 100 milliseconds, and then it would go low, pause for 50. So it's really simple programming. And here's the Arduino programming setup here. You declare some variables here. So LED 0 is port 2, and LED 1 is port 3, and so on. And then you declare some more variables. So brightness 0 is equal to 0, brightness 1 is 25, so on and so forth. And some more variables declared there. Void setup. And you declare that the outputs, that the ports are going to be output ports. And you do another void loop, or a void, and then loop, and then analog write. So that's the port you're writing to, and this is the value you'd be writing to it. And here's some more if statements. So it's a bit more complicated, but not too difficult to do.